with you. Like I don't. There we go. We
Is
are
it being recorded?
we're gonna put it up on Facebook and then YouTube afterwards. So I post them all on I've got a YouTube channel and I just put them all up there afterwards as well.
Okay. I'll share them. I'll share it to the Queen City Comedy site and maybe my page too.
Yeah, buddy. Let's see. Let's see how many we got here. We've got 1, 2. Okay, so pick a number between 1 to 19. Pick a number 1 to 19.
Oh, well. Today is July, the 7th month.
Yep.
And it's the 7th day. So clearly I'm going to pick 12. 12.
Yep.
Pick 12.
That makes complete sense. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, so this comes from Tim David.
Oh, I love that guy.
And our suggestion is Coachella Arts and Music Festival.
You know what? I changed it. I hate that guy.
Tim, we love you. You're the best. All right. So that's our suggestion.
Fantastic.
Right.
Hey,
yeah.
I'm ready to go home.
Yeah. And we just got here too.
Yeah, I'm ready to go home, man.
Loud. I didn't know it'd be this loud.
Why does it have to be so loud?
If everyone could just sit down and just keep it a little bit quieter. I mean, Lollapalooza was never this loud, I don't think.
I never been, but Lilith Fair was perfectly at the right level.
That was perfect. Great music. The acoustics were fantastic. This is just.
There's so many people.
So many people. I want to thank you for agreeing to come, first off. Like, none of my other friends would.
No, I mean, I thought it would be different.
It is different.
I mean, I thought it would be like it used to be, you know.
Hey,
maybe it's us. Maybe we've changed.
Look at me. Look at me, Daryl. We're the same guys. We like to party. We like music. It's just, this is excessive. That's the difference.
Right? It's different. The music's not the same as it was.
No.
Just turn it down for 1 second.
Yes, we're trying to
have a conversation.
We just wanted to. We haven't seen each other. We lost contact for a while. We just need to talk. Sorry.
And I didn't want to say anything. I smell pot. I smell it.
It's all over this place. It's permeating this entire place.
Back in our day, you snuck it. You snuck it in the parking lot
where it belongs.
You came in.
You did it in the parking lot where it belongs. You came in, you enjoyed yourself, then you went out there. You had a little bit more just because you were amped up, and then you went home. The constant thing is taken away from the music.
Exactly. You stopped and you picked up fried chicken.
Yes.
And you brought it to the parking lot.
Yes.
And you would roll up your car windows. You would smoke. We would drink whatever that we took from our parents.
Whatever was there. Some chicken. You ate a little bit. Then you were ready to have a good time. This is just, it's the excess. It's the generation of excess. All right.
No boundaries. This generation has no boundaries. Like, people keep bumping up on me.
I just said I need a little space.
Hey, we just want a little space.
Just a little bubble. Is that too much to ask? We just want a little bubble.
Put down a blanket. You're stepping on my blanket. When the blanket declares
That's
the same.
LLB's. That's an LLB monogram blanket that he got from his kids. Just a thank you. I don't mean to shout, but the music's so loud. Thank you.
That was a good Father's Day. It
was good, right? Hey, how's the chamomile? Is it good?
You know, they looked at me funny when I ordered it.
Well, yeah, I mean, because, you know, you have a very delicate palate and they don't get a lot of delicate palates around
I
here.
can't drink the draft beer that they have here. No, thank you. Oh, and
Don't
they give you the
get
giant.
me started. Don't get me started. These IPAs and these craft beers and everything's got to have a hint of raspberry in it. We don't need that. We need Hams, Old Style, Mickey's Big Mouth, or Light, Miller Light. That's it. That's all we need.
And drink it so fast you can't taste it.
Right. It's not about the taste. It's
not about the taste.
It's about getting messed up.
These kids don't get it. They don't get it.
I just said I need just a little space. Can I just
You don't get it.
You just don't get it. Not you, not you. I'm speaking you in like the general term, not you. I don't know you. You do your thing. All right. I'm not saying you don't get it. Thank you. I'm saying that it's just different. That's all. It's different.
That guy doesn't get it.
He doesn't.
I can
look at his eyes. He doesn't get it at all. He looks at me. It's like first off, let me ask you something. Would you chain your wallet to your jeans? Would you do it? I'd rather lose my wallet than chain it.
What does that even do?
I think it's a statement.
You know what? He looks like my kids. That looks like something my kids would do. With the nose piercing. With the nose piercing. That's
DJ. Your son's here. I was yelling at your son. That's what. Oh my God. DJ.
Deej.
Yeah. No. Your dad's here with me. Come on, Deej. Come on.
Doug Jr.
Doug, come in. Okay, all right. If you want to come here, we got plenty of room on the blanket. We brought sandwiches. If you want a sandwich, I wouldn't buy anything. It's very overpriced. So don't buy anything. Come over, get it. Come over later, get a sandwich. Get a sandwich later. Yeah. He's got tea if you want tea. He bought some. But we can always okay. All right. Yep. He's very kind. Your son is still very polite. He's very kind.
There would have been a time that he would have come over. He would have wanted to party with his old man. Now he doesn't even want to come over here.
Daryl, are you, dude? I'm
probably be embarrassed that I brought my own tea bags and asked for hot water at the craft beer station.
But why? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You're just asking for hot water.
Yeah, that's what got me here.
Oh, you know what? Your son's grown up. You're a father to an adult kid.
I know. Seems like just yesterday I was leaving him at home so that we could go and hang out.
Yeah, and those were good times.
Yeah, it was good, man. That was great times.
You couldn't, if you left your kid home now, they would call the Department of Family Services on you.
Oh, don't even get me started on the kids these days.
I worked with a guy. You want to hear something? I worked with a guy. He yelled at his daughter and his son. They were twins. He yelled at them to pick up their room. They called the cops on him. He had to apologize and clean up their room. Yeah.
He had to clean their room.
He had to clean
their room.
That's
my dad. My dad yelled at me when he was happy with what I did.
That was the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Kids these days. Millennials.
Yeah. We're just speaking generally. Millennials are
millennials in general.
They add a lot to the world. I'm scared. I couldn't take any of these guys or gals. I couldn't take anybody if there's a fight.
But back in the day, remember we would throw hands just for fun, just to have something to do. We would throw hands.
Remember at Jurgensen's?
Oh,
Remember that? And it was
I
like, what are
wasn't.
you
I
looking
wasn't
at?
there. I wasn't there.
Oh, oh, right. You should have been there. That was when your parents sent you to summer camp.
Right?
Oh, that was, dude, that was I got,
I remember. I remember you telling me the story. You
yeah,
had the black eye.
yeah, it would, and it didn't go away. Like, I was like, what are you looking at? And before I finished I got hit in both eyes. It was like a double hit, and it came out of nowhere. Those were good times. I'll never
Yeah.
forget that summer. That
You
was,
had an infection all summer. I
yeah,
remember
yeah,
that.
yeah. I had a staph infection. I was in the hospital. I was in Ingalls for 6 weeks. And then I got
We
mono. I had a lot happen that summer when you were away. I got mono. I got two black eye. Oh, it was great. And then I got a scooter. I got a Honda Spree 50cc.
see
Wiped out on that, but still, it was,
back in the day. That's all we needed.
that's all we needed. And my parents didn't care where I went. They said, go, come back at dinner or don't.
Yeah,
And I'm
they could
fine.
care less. We were adults. We were children, but we were adults.
We took care of ourselves.
It's these kids today.
They don't know what they don't know what it's like.
You know what?
What?
I don't even think these are millennials. I don't think that's the right term. These are like younger than millennials. Like they're like,
what is the year for millennials? What is
you
the
know what?
time frame?
It's all a scam. You know, it's some journalist somewhere makes up a term and they try to get it spread.
And then that's it.
You know what it is? It's all like a baby boom. There was an actual baby boom, right? So the boomers.
That was
And after that, it's not, it's just kids that are younger, the next generation. It's not, so it's all kids these days. That's what it is. Whether it's millennials or Gen Z or Gen X or
Gen Y. Was there Gen Y? Did we skip the Y? Did it go?
I think we skipped a Y because that's a boring one.
You want
It's these days.
kids?
KTD. That's what it is.
You want to go? I feel like I've seen enough. It was better in my mind than actually coming out.
Oh, no, actually, I like this song. This is actually
It's good.
a good one. Yeah, this is pretty good. We'll go after this song.
After the song. Scene. Dude, and the lighting in the back
Right?
makes it 100 times better.
I was going for that festival atmosphere.
Oh my God. I remember I went to Lollapalooza. I think it was the first one. And I was early 20s. And I remember, it was like, I enjoyed the bands that were there and it was 3 stages, but I remember thinking like, I don't think I like these all day things, these all day festivals. And they were all the bands that were playing, I enjoyed, like the sound was good, but I was like, I went with a bunch of people and you couldn't, like one person drove. So you had to wait until the last person.
Everybody was ready.
Until everybody was ready to go. And it was just like, so I remember trying to sleep. Like it was I think we got there at like noon and it was till like midnight. Like it was a 12-hour thing. It was very long. And the thought of going to a music festival now does not appeal to me. And I don't think it's appealed to me since I was that age.
Festival, but concert still cool, right? Or no?
Yeah. Well, I did remember, God, this had to be 15, more than 15. No, it had to be close to 20 years ago. I went to see a friend's band and I was married at the time and my wife and I went and we were in the back of the venue. It was a small bar in Chicago. And I remember thinking like, if it was just quieter and I was like, oh my God, I've hit that point. I was in my mid 30s and I was like, oh, if we could just sit there. Like I remember trying to sit down. So I like going to concerts. The last one I went to was Bruce Springsteen.
Oh.
And a friend of mine said, hey, you want to come see Bruce Springsteen? And I'm not like a huge fan, but I was like, oh, that's somebody you should see live. Like that, what an opportunity to come see it.
Yeah.
And my wife at the time, we went with my buddy and she was able to check the set list and she goes, there's like 35 songs. This is going to be a really long, and she didn't like guitar driven music. And I was like, well, you're in for a treat in this one. It was like the dude played like 4 hours, man. It was long. It was good, but it was long. So
Pre the dark times, I took my kid to see Post Malone. Post Malone was
Yeah.
one of my last concerts, and I remember the music was crap. I was like, what the hell are we listening to? I'm like, you guys have a good time. I'm gonna just wander around and go get a drink or something.
Well, I'm at that point now. We talked earlier. I've got a 6 and 8-year-old, and my partner's got two twins who are 15. And I think those concerts are coming back, and they're going to be in the near future of going to see a group, because you're like chaperoning it.
Like cool dad.
You got to be, yeah, and you got to
earplugs in.
Totally. I'm gonna put earbuds in and listen to other music while I'm there. But like I think I'm
big cans.
Yeah, I'm gonna have these. No, this is great. Yeah, this is really like the big earphones.
Because I'm not gonna let my kid go, because I remember when I was a teenager, we would go. You couldn't go with less than 10 people, so you'd have to get like a crew. And I remember one concert where 2 people got underage, got blackout drunk, and it was a Beach Boys concert.
No,
it wasn't even like it was just like a Beach Boys, and we stopped at the Waffle House and ate at like 2 a.m. while they slept it off in the car.
Well, I mean,
I'm not letting my kids do that. I'm not letting my kids do that.
But I mean, don't you feel like everybody's got one of those stories of either they're young and they go with folks who get wasted, or they're the ones who are wasted in that group setting. And now as you get older, I'm almost like, I got to give them tools and hope they make the right decision when they're in that situation. Like,
yeah, that's 100% where it is. Like, at a certain point, your influence drops off and all the other influences pick up, and you just got to hope that you've given them all the tools before that point.
Yeah. How did you start in improv? What made you take a class or do a show?
I started like late in life. I always thought when I was younger that I would perform, do something creative. But I didn't. I went to like the first meeting of the drama students in my freshman year in college, and I looked around and I was like, oh, somebody better point me to the business department, because I don't belong here. And so I spent 20 plus years in corporate, and then about 10 years ago, I was driving past the theater, and it said auditions today, or auditions Tuesday, I think it said, for a play that I'd never heard of. And so I said, I'm gonna do it.
No.
Yeah. So I auditioned for a musical and that I knew nothing about, and didn't get the part, but the director was like, maybe you come back and we'll do something else with you. We got another show coming up. So I started in like community theater, and then I had a friend that said, there's they get improv classes in town. We should do that. And so I said, yeah, we'll do that. And she ended up backing out, and I did it, and I loved it. And I would work all day, my 9 to 5, and then I would drive there, just like, this is the last thing I want to do is go sit in a room and talk for 2 hours. But then I would leave with like so much more energy than I came.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that was 10 years ago. It was with Charlotte Comedy Theater here in Charlotte. And since then I've joined several other groups and started Queen City Comedy, and got a festival this September.
I like how you just offhandedly say, and I started Queen City Comedy. It's a big player in improv now. And I feel like with the pandemic as well, and with things that you and Karla do there, it's really shot up in being recognized for what you're doing and the safe space you're creating for all kinds of performers, which has not always been the case. It hasn't been a case where people are actively creating those safe spaces. And I feel like you and Karla are doing that tremendously.
Yeah, there's been such movement and really kind of chaotic in improv in general during the past year, with some theaters going, we're not doing anything online, and others were having huge issues. And we were just trying to because we thought we're going to be back on stage in 2 months, right? So we were trying to find some things that would keep people connected and keep skills sharp virtually until we could get back. And we said, what if we had we had a ton of people globally taking our workshops and stuff and our drop-ins. So we said, what if we had a team? And now cut to a year later, and we have 5 global teams that are all just like amazing and some of the best performers from around the world. Just incredible.
I mean, it is that alone, not even talking about the workshops you all offer and the things that you do and part of the Everyone Get In Here festival, like that, which is a big part of that philosophy that I'm a big fan of, which is like, everybody come play, and like making proactively searching out people and saying, come join us, come be a part of this group. Like that is something that theaters haven't always been the best at doing, is like, you have to be active in doing this, and you have to put yourself in those spaces and reach out to people and follow and find them and bring them in. And now you've got that situation where I don't think the virtual is going to go away. I think it's going to be a part of what we offer. I think there'll always be the live when we get back. That'll be a part of it. But I think this virtual thing is we are connected. The earth is getting smaller because of that. And I don't think anybody really wants to give that up. I think it's always going to be a good alternative, especially for people who might not even want to get on a stage in front of a room of people.
Yeah, those 5 teams, like they're so geographically spread out, they'll never be together, but I hope that they'll want to continue to perform because they seem to really be having a good time. I don't know how long virtual is going to go, but I'm having such a good time with it. I'm on to the last stop. So whenever the rest of the world says this isn't a thing anymore, then I'll stop. But until then, I'm gonna keep pushing it until it does. Part of what I really loved about improv is just like the community and the people that just want to get together and be creative and collaborate. And so the pandemic has really unlocked that. So many more people like yourself, and that's been just a huge blessing for me and for Queen City Comedy.
I love that phrase. I'm on to the last stop. I think I think it is here to stay. I think because we got thrown into it where it was the only game in town, where the only way you can improvise was doing it virtually and people weren't in person. I think we got past the hurdle of, we're waiting for this to kind of end and get, we all had that thought early on of like, this will be like 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, no. And I remember my partners in the medical field and said, no, this is 18 months. They're like, this is a big deal. Like, this is not like, because we had like before with like Ebola or SARS or swine flu, you're like, oh, we've kind of avoided the pandemic, so we're going to do it again. And they were like, no, this is going to hit us and be with us for a while and be part of us moving forward. And so I do think that there are enough people who keep asking about it, who keep saying I'm interested in it, that I think it's going to continue because it gives you those opportunities. Like those 5 teams that are working together that are geographically displaced, I think they're going to want to continue doing this. So I think it's a matter of, it's going to continue. It's going to get better. The technology will get better. It'll get faster. We'll figure out more things to do with it. It'll be more exciting. And it will be it's almost like a different, it's still improv, but it's a different way to do it. It's definitely a different option and it flexes a different muscle. So yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm there for the last stop.
Good. You and I will be there until the last stop together.
And if we could just turn the music down,
come on, guys, come on. We're trying to get a little sleep while we're.
Oh my God, dude. I for a couple years pre-dark times, as you say, I loved doing sit-prov where it's like, can we be in a cafe or a cab or on a train? Like I loved the aspect of that. And that was more a reflection of me than anything, but like this really, I feel like this virtual situation has allowed us to meet and connect with people that you probably honestly wouldn't have, which is one reason I got into improv. Is like I looked around the room and said, I probably wouldn't have connected with these folks except in this situation.
If you had told me even last year at this time, today's my birthday, and
yes, it is.
Or 2 years ago, if you had said, hey, you're gonna in a 2 years time spend your birthday doing a set with Jay Suko. And this morning I got an email from Colin Mockery, who we had done some work with during the thing. And I'm like, and it was like, oh, here's a note from Colin. Like it's nothing. But if you told me 2 years ago that you would even have that kind of connection with folks like you and Colin, that would have been, I wouldn't have believed it.
No.
Yeah, it's impossible to predict. Just about every industry, I think years from now, they'll be studying what this year did to change the way things work. And improv is certainly going to be one of them. People are going to look back and we don't even know now what kind of change and impact it's going to have.
I mean, you're right on. It's hard to, because I couldn't even imagine what a pandemic was like. Like you read about it, you heard about, but like the impact of a pandemic, it's like how could you have a reference to that?
I just assumed I was going to be killing zombies outside of my window. That's what I thought it was going to be.
Right? They're there now. It's a birthday present.
Oh, they're all singing happy birthday. How about that? Hey,
I can't kill them now. They're very kind. And
what wearing little party hats. Oh, that's so cool.
If people want to connect with you, follow stuff you're doing, reach out to you to lead a workshop or play or anything like that, like what's the best way they could do that?
Yeah. Queen City Comedy on Facebook and Instagram is probably the best, easiest way. You can send me an email at info@queencitycomedy.com. Yeah, I'd love to kind of continue making those connections. And Queen City Comedy is it's more of an artist's collective, right? We're trying to like just find cool stuff that people want to do and find ways to do more of it, kind of divide the grunt work in half so that we can multiply the creative work. So we're looking for like, what's the next thing that's going to fit into this unique frame that we're doing.
And you've got such a great team and the folks there. And like, I know I've done a lot of stuff with Karla and I think the world of her. I mean, amazing. And
there'd be no Queen City Comedy without Karla. She's the one that people like. So that's, and they say Queen City Comedy is so great. They're talking about Karla is what they're talking about.
Well, I mean, it doesn't just reinforce the importance of surrounding yourself with good people, and whether that's like in a business setting or just in life, to be like, find those people that really are just solid individuals. The older I get, the more I'm like, I care less about the things you've done and more about who are you and how do you make other people feel.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm doing this at least as a kind of a hobby and a pursuit. So if I at work, I have to put up with crap. Right. So I don't want to do that when I'm the places that I'm looking for joy and for a creative outlet.
Right.
So yeah, Karla and Jen and Mandy and Franny and that whole team that we've that kind of helped us build Queen City Comedy and the global side of things has just been fantastic work with, and they're all great people and leave a positive impact on everybody they work with.
Oh, it's so great. It's so inspiring for me as somebody who's been improvising for a bit of time. It's really great to see that shift into, let's leave a positive impact. Let's help people. Let's make this better than we found it. Let's listen and open up spaces. Like it's going to allow it to change and thrive and grow rather than like maintain this level, which we had been at for a while until the pandemic hit. So it's really great. I had such a blast playing with you, man. And whether it's in person or virtual, I can't wait to play with you again. Thank you and happy birthday.
Thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it. This is the best birthday present I could have gotten.
Oh, you're the best, my friend. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye.